Hi, I'm Laura with utahhomeslaura.com, and in this video we're tackling a crucial aspect of selling your home, and that is determining its value. Now, pricing your home correctly is a delicate balance. Too high and your home might sit on the market becoming stale, getting the bad reputation of being overpriced, or too low, you risk leaving some money on the table. Now, our goal is to find that right sweet spot, the price that attracts buyers while maximizing the return. The foundation of accurate pricing is a professional comparative market analysis, otherwise known as a CMA. Now, a CMA isn't just a quick online estimate. It's a deep dive into recent sales of comparable homes in your area. We will physically tour your property. We'll go inside, we'll tour the yard, we'll assess its unique features, what upgrades, and the overall condition of your home. Data is paramount in calculating a home's value. We consider factors like what's the square footage, what lot size, the number of bedrooms and bathrooms, recent renovations, and what are the special features that make your home unique. We then compare your home to similar homes that have recently sold in your neighborhood, and this detailed analysis provides a much more precise and reliable estimate than those automated online valuation systems. Those online valuation tools like Zillow or Redfin, they could be helpful for a general idea, but they often miss the nuances that influence a home's true value. They rely on, algorithms and public data, and that public data is not always correct, and they could, can have typos, which negatively affect the algorithm and can make the assessment way off. They also don't account for, the very specific upgrades that you put into your home, the recent renovations, or the emotional appeal that can sway a buyer's decision. Maybe it's different aspects of the yard or statues in the yard. Now, in Utah, we are a non-disclosure state, so online valuations can be even less reliable. So make sure you get a CMA for a true, proper home evaluation. Now, look at current market conditions also. They play a significant role in pricing. Is it a buyer's market or a seller's market? Low inventory and high demand usually create a seller's market where we can be more strategic with pricing. Now, if it's a buyer's market, we might need to be more flexible to attract, competitive offers out there. Pricing involves both data and strategy, so timing matters too. If you need to sell your home quickly, we might adjust the pricing strategy accordingly. If you have more time, then more flexibility on pricing might be possible as well. Ultimately, our pricing strategy will be tailored to your specific goals, time frame, and your desired outcome. But what about pricing to test the market? Now, this is something you really need to pay attention to. Some people decide to price their home above market to test the market. But if the market is declining, this is a really bad idea. Most often, the seller will end up selling his home for much less than he would have if he would have just priced at market value when he first listed the home. Now, as prices come down, then home sellers adjust by lowering their price. But if you price too high to test the market, then as prices come down and you lower your home price too, it still sits on the market at the top of the market, even though you keep lowering your price. So you end up netting less than if you were just to price your home right to begin with and sold your home then following the market down. So another thing to consider is the first 6 weeks on market, ideal time when you will have the most exposure. So the first few days are especially critical. When you first list your house and your neighbors and others want to know what you're asking for it, then the word gets around of what you're pricing your home. Then they're telling other people. Maybe it's other family, maybe it's coworkers, maybe it's some of the friends that want to live in the neighborhood. Well, if you have showings and then there's no offers and your house is overpriced, then those potential buyers, they move on and your home gets a bad reputation to be overpriced. So, you look at those potential buyers. Well, they've moved on. They're not constantly checking back in their rearview mirror to see if the houses they previously toured, if it adjusted the prices. You're now, way back there. They're not going to go back and say, did so-and-so lower their price? So those potential buyers, they've moved on. So the first place people shop for a home, they go online. If they like what they see, but the house is priced too high, they may not want to tour your home. And now you've excluded potential buyers by overpricing your home. So if you're worried about leaving money on the table, it's actually really hard to do. So if you underlist your home and your house is being marketed correctly, then you will most likely have multiple buyers coming in competing for your house. And that competition drives up the price. So your house will sell for value or higher. And after all, if you look at what home value is, it is determined by what a willing seller is willing to sell for and what a willing buyer is willing to pay. So for a free consultation on pricing strategy, reach out to me. I'll be happy to work with you. Meanwhile, thank you for watching, and make sure to watch the next video on Your House is Now on the Market. It's showtime.